Hi, family. I am blessed, I am well, and I am prosperous. Thanks for joining or thanks for watching. Today, what I wanted to talk about was a topic I call um, They Won't Get It Until They Get It. People just don't get it, and they won't get it until they get it. Now, I was diagnosed with neuromyelitis optica slash transverse myelitis February 23rd of 2016. So it's a rare, they're both rare autoimmune illnesses. Um, and so what I wanted to share was, now remember the topic that I said. And before I get started, please subscribe and please share the videos because I think they hold a lot of value and a lot of information, that can help a lot of people in our autoimmune world or in our autoimmune community. So I had a friend back in the late 1980s. Um, and then I think we were like 17, 18, in between those ages, between 17 and 19, I believe. And so, what was happening to her, her gums would, I guess, bleed a lot. Um, and so at some point she had gone to the her doctor and they ran tests and it came back that they diagnosed her with having lupus. Now, back then, we're teenagers, young, running around, having fun, and or teenager, young adults, at whatever age range that was. Uh, and so when she came and she told me she, was diagnosed with lupus, um, of course I'm a deer in headlights, a dumbfounded, you know what I'm saying? I don't really know what that was, and I've always considered myself to be a pretty sensitive, person. And so as years went on, into our adulthood, um, when it was time to go to the beach or the park, or things like that, there would be times when she would be, tired or not up to going, or the sun would bother her, she would have to wear a hat, and it was things I didn't understand it really, what I'm saying, I didn't understand, why or the severity of her situation. And that's all because I was well, healthy, running around, having fun. I didn't have, and those weren't my issues. I didn't have to worry about those things. But she did. Now, I was never insensitive towards her, for those things. I never abandoned her or stopped being her friend because of, her situation. Um, but all at the same time, I probably didn't go and offer as much help um, to her on her down times as I probably could have, uh, looking back. But that was her situation. But she was able to, have her job and maintain her life. But she did have her fair share of, the steroids and, where it messes with your hair and the hair thinning and, things like that. But, it just never dawned on me to, like, look up lupus and find out more about it and, and deep dive into what it was all about. Now, I tell that story to say, now it's my turn, and I was diagnosed with neuromyelitis optica slash transverse myelitis. And so, you know, while going through my struggle, and I know a lot of us feel like, wow, we have these friends, we have these family members around us, and they don't care to look up, or read about our autoimmune illness, and they just so frustrated because I can't go sit out in the sun, and I'm tired at times. I don't want to go out. I just can't operate like I used to before the diagnosis, and we feel a certain kind of way, and they don't understand why we feel that way. They don't get it, and uh, hopefully none of them are too insensitive, to the fact, but if they are, it's just because they don't get it. For instance, when she was diagnosed with her lupus, I didn't get it, you know, and so now that this time has come back around, I guess full circle, um, I'm on that end, and I understand that individuals, they don't get it. They won't get it until they get it. Nobody's going to understand the numbness and the tingling that we feel in our limbs. Nobody's going to understand the stiffness and the pain of the joints if that's what you're experiencing. Nobody's going to fully understand the brain fog. They're going to think you just playing around, acting like you don't remember or acting like you don't know. And they just not going to have the patience to understand what is really going on internally, especially if you are a person with an autoimmune illness who appears on the surface to be totally fine, to have it all going on, have it all together. You can dress nice, look nice, go a few places, every now and again, and they look at you and they just think, oh, okay, well, shoot, you good? You got what was that again? Yeah, okay, well, they look at it as like, oh, I thought you like it was a cold and hot you, and now it's cleared up and it's all gone. But internally, for a vast majority of us, we feel a lot different than we look on the inside. And people on the outside looking in, they just don't know. They don't know that, and they don't understand it. And so at some point, I had to come to grips with, well, her story crossed my mind at some point, and I had to say to myself, okay, well, wait a minute. Because I was all bent out of shape, about my kids not, looking it up, and do you know what NMO is? Do you know what transverse myelitis is? And they like, no. And I'm thinking, well, why don't you go read about it and learn about it? I'm your mom. I have this. I was told I have this. Look it up, so you can understand, what it is. And at the end of the day, they can do that all day long. They can look it up. They can read about it. They can study about it. But at the end of the day, they're not going to get it. We have some that will, try that will feel for us, but it can only go so far. So we have to put ourselves in a place, we have to get in a placeholder to where we have to understand that, okay, it's not on them. It's not their fault. People have their lives. Their lives are not going to be stopped and put on hold to cradle and baby us. As much as we would love, love, love for some, extra support, and we do deserve that. Don't get me wrong. All the extra support and help makes all the difference. It helps us so much in our recovery. So it is a big help if they did read about it, a little bit about it, brush up on it, and, can just understand a little bit more. That would help us. But for us to stay sane and to continue with our healing journey, we have to look at the other side of it as You know, they're not going to get it. They don't get it. Those of us who do have it and we are in Facebook communities and we talk and we need to vent, we can vent to one another, not holding anything in. We can just let it all out on the table because all of us have experienced something about others that they don't understand that we in the group understand 110%. So a lot of times we'll just have to, put our family or our friends, we just have to give them a pass. And then we'll just have to go into our Facebook group or whoever it is that understands us the most and vent, get our advice, get our encouragement, get our positive feedback, and just move on from there. Because that's what I had to find myself doing. And with that story I shared earlier, it made it a lot easier because I had to tap myself on the shoulder and say, hey, when your friend was diagnosed with lupus, you didn't stop your life to go find out about lupus, did you? And I had to say to myself, no, I didn't. But then I try to make an excuse and I try to say, well, I was only like 17, 18 back then. But then it's like, okay, well, how old are your kids? Talking to myself. My kids are what, early 20s and, a couple of younger ones. And so even with that, even with the older people, like I said, everyone has their life, but join a Facebook group, vent there. Hopefully you'll just move to a space to where you have a lot of positive things. But I do understand because I've been there, I've done that, and it's still a healing experience. I was only diagnosed in 2016, and I'm still healing every day, every moment, every second is a healing opportunity. I'm just talking to my body, talking to my cells, just trying to keep positive energy around me and focusing on those who don't understand it and being down in the dumps because they don't, it's not going to get me very far. So I wanted to share that with you. Maybe that'll help you out a little bit. Um, don't dwell on it. You know what I'm saying? Just, take that story I had. Maybe you may have your own story. You just haven't, dug deep enough and come across it. Um, it may not be as heavy of a story, but, just we sometimes have to put ourselves in other people's shoes and, you know, and just move on. So anyway, thank you for listening. I just wanted to share that story really quick. I hope it helps you. If so, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And again, please subscribe and subscribe and share, so that hopefully my stories can help others as well. Thank you. See you all later. Bye.